Hi fellas. In his book River War, Winston Churchill does comment that a man possessed with Islam, he means Sharia frenzy, behaves like a dog with rabies. And it's no wonder really when you read about some of the battles. For instance, here we see that at one battle for whatever, on page 300, it states here, the great Dervish army who advanced at sunrise in hope and courage fled in an utter rout, pursued by the Egyptian army, and having more than 9,000 warriors dead and even greater numbers wounded behind them, thus ended the battle of Omdurman, the most single triumph ever gained by the arms of science over barbarians, which is how they behaved. They were most shocked when they were defeated in one battle. A few of the Arab guys, Sudanese guys, threw their arms away and held their hands up, and were quite shocked to find that they weren't executed as they'd done all over Islam, all over the Middle East for hundreds of years. And as soon as they saw that the first few had surrendered successfully, they were followed by hundreds and hundreds, because, as we know, in the Middle East, it's always been very brutal. In Western wars, frequently they would surrender. There would be some deaths, but they'd surrender, accept the ruling of whoever who'd been the victor, and with relatively light bloodshed, the war would be settled. But in the Middle East, it's never been this way. They always execute the losers, basically. As after the Iranian Revolution, I know of an Iranian man that the newspaper had pages and pages of people who had been executed after the revolution. Basically, anyone who was rich or anyone that had a good career job or might be loyal to the Shah was executed, and that's direct from a man that lived in Tehran, the outskirts of Tehran. So as you see, within the space of 5 hours, the strongest and best armed savage army yet arrayed against the modern European power, armed with Lee Metford bolt action rifles, and they had Maxim machine guns, and they had numerous good gunboats, had been destroyed and dispersed with hardly any difficulty, comparatively small risk and insignificant loss to the victors. And also we see, we'll just see if we can find the page, yes, an account of one battle, but this is the same battle. Look at the losses here. Total killed 20 British officers and 462 men, which is a lot. But the Dervish losses, Sudanese, Islam frenzy losses, were ascertained to be about 9,700 killed, because even though they're being shot at with Maxim machine guns and volleys of 10-round magazine Lee Metfords, we just kept coming, trying to chop us to pieces. So look at that, 9,700 killed and 462 men. So 482 men killed on the British side and 9,700 killed. Wounded variously estimated from 10,000 to 16,000. That shows how frenzied they were, doesn't it? They just kept attacking Maxim machine guns and volley fire. Absolutely crazy, isn't it? And what were all these people fighting for? What? An illiterate 7th century prophet who couldn't read or write, and according to his Aisha, his child bride, who she grew up with him, was what was the word she said? Yes, a lunatic, basically. She called him an absolute lunatic. That's what Aisha said about the prophet Mo. Okay, see you guys.